de seguridad para este cruce peatonal. Mientras tanto, una testigo quien presenció los hechos nos dice que el conductor del vehículo, quien es el jefe del departamento de bomberos de esta ciudad, ni siquiera se bajó del auto para socorrer a las víctimas.
We want justice! We want justice! We want justice! We want justice! ¡No!
¡Justicia! ¡Queremos justicia!
We want justice! We want justice! We want justice! We want justice!
We want justice! ¡Queremos justicia! We want justice!
We want justice! We want justice! We want justice! Why do we need it now? Why do we need it now? We want justice! We want justice! We want justice! Why do we need it now? Why do we need it now? We want justice! We want justice! We want justice! We want
Mira, le iba yo a pedir un favor, que ahorita cuando entren al building, que lo tomen en orden para que no nos vayan a tener problemas con nadie. Este es un lugar donde vamos a arreglar los problemas. Si tiene todo, ¿sí me escuchan?
Todos vamos a entrar en orden.
Mira, este es un lugar donde se arreglan los problemas. Cuando ustedes tengan un problema, ustedes pueden venir aquí los miércoles. El alcalde está a las 7 de la noche. Cualquier problema que ustedes tengan lo pueden venir a arreglar aquí. Solamente les pido por favor que cuando entren adentro, en orden, no un desorden, por favor. Y
Gente civilizada.
muchísimas gracias por venir.
Lo que queremos es justicia.
Lo que queremos es justicia.
Everyone, please come in peace so that we can be heard. If you have any problems, any concerns on Wednesday, we can come in here and be heard. We come in peace, so nobody want to come in here and create no disturbances and no arguments, please. Everybody is just here in peace. We just want justice to be served. That's what the family is asking for.
Buenas tardes.
Si me escuchan un momentico, I would appreciate it, thank you. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Rebeca Escobar. Permiso. Mi nombre es Rebeca Escobar y yo soy la presidenta del consejo. Les doy la bienvenida que están acá. My name is Rebeca Escobar. I am the president of the city council, so I welcome you today here. Les voy a pedir que por favor, para decirles más o menos cuál es el procedimiento para poder llevar la reunión. Tenemos al principio que hacer una agenda que vamos a leer, que es solo leer. Una vez que yo termine eso, entonces comenzamos con la reunión. Y el proceso es, tengo que hacer primero las ordenanzas, tengo que hacer las resoluciones. Una vez que terminemos, entonces el público tiene la oportunidad de hablar. I just want to tell you a little bit about the process because I know there's a lot of us. Like I said in Spanish, I welcome all of you here, especially the kids.
I've known Mr. Ross for over 20 years. He's a very great he's been a very great firefighter, very good working with children. But at this time, I really find out that the city of New Brunswick and New Brunswick Police Department are more responsible for the accident that happened with the 3 children. Is it true that you wait till the damage is done before you respond to something?
That is not true, Ms. Denny.
Well, if that is not true, why has it been 4 weeks since you have not responded in having a crossing guard on every corner that's supposed to be done?
And I have Stacy Miller here.
If there's a crossing guard not available on a specific day, we use as many officers as we can to fill those spots. We don't always have enough officers to fill every spot. We throw as many as we can. We have a campaign that we have every year with the schools to try to hire more crossing guards. We have a few in training now. We encourage anyone that would like the position. We're always looking for more to fill more crossing guard positions.
Do you think it's for a person to go out there for an hour and risk their life to get paid only $10.25? Did I ask you about raising the price for a crossing guard so you can get more stable workers to come out?
You mentioned something that we don't have any control, like this council doesn't have any control over what a crossing guard is.
Spanish. Excuse me. Can I get a Spanish TV camera here? It's the only one that is not covering the event.
And he doesn't
Because
let
they
you
don't let us
go
go
in.
in.
Who doesn't let you go in?
He doesn't.
Oh, because
We're all Spanish here. We're all Ash.
One spot, please.
Hold on. Let's do this. He's a fire inspector, so I need to find out what is the challenge. Somebody.
Okay, so why can't the Spanish camera come in? Why can't they come in? It's not fair. That's what I'm trying to do.
Lo que sucede es que vemos muchas personas acá y es difícil, no podemos por las leyes del juego, si algo más sucede tiene que haber cierta cantidad de personas y nos estamos pasando, so vamos a ver cómo. We are overseeing the capacity, we apologize for that.
At the specific intersection with Livingston and Delaware, there's been a number of improvements that have been made in the past to try to improve pedestrian safety. They included installing high visibility bar-type crosswalks, installing high visibility pedestrian signs, yellow high visibility signs, and also installing two stanchions a block away from on the other side of that intersection, flashing over the road signs with posted 15-mile-an-hour speed limit when the lights were flashing. So those are the steps that have been taken. Looking forward, the city has been working with Middlesex County, which has jurisdiction over that road, to try to implement what is called a road diet. This would reduce the number of lanes from 4 lanes to 3 lanes, add bicycle lanes, and make the area more pedestrian friendly. There are a number of regulations and so forth that you have to go through to do that, so that is not a quick turnaround type of a project. However, the county and the city have been trying to come up with some more short-term types of actions that they can do in areas on Livingston which they can implement on a faster basis. So that's something we're exploring now and hope to be able to come up with something that can be done on a more short-term basis.
Thank you.
Llama de que al City Hall. City Hall no va a hacer nada. Si me matan a mí ahí, o a mi esposa, o a los niños que le pasó ahorita eso, ayer, eso no es justo. Y la policía uno lo llama. No están pendientes, uno está pagando taxi y ellos no hacen nada. Tienen que tener justicia y para eso estamos todos acá. Muchas gracias.
I just want to say that in 2012, the city with the county, community-based organization, and the state, they did a big campaign on Livingston Avenue because we do recognize that Livingston Avenue is kind of it's one of those streets that it needs some changes, and it's a county road. The campaign was called Más Despacio, Slow Down, and it involved the community teaching the community, giving them pedestrian safety information. There were signs all over. The police was there looking at people, giving tickets to the people that were driving by because they are people, sometimes they forget that it's a 25-mile-per-hour speed. So initially, besides what Mr. Henderson has said, we are concerned. We know that there's a challenge. It's a street that has a challenge. But we, this council and the city, almost priority is the safety of all the residents, especially the children. And we are very saddened by this unfortunate accident. And it is our hope and our prayers that the children are doing speedy recovery?
Overall, everybody's here because we're all Hispanics and not everybody listens to us, you get me? Like we all don't, nobody pays attention to us. If it was a Hispanic behind the car, we would have already been arrested, we would have had charges pressed on. But since it's the person that was behind the wheel was the director of the fire department, we can't really do anything as of right now. Overall, all the parents, they want justice, they want crossing guards, they want more surveillance. Overall, that's what we all are here for.
And I just have to refer a little bit about what you think. I think that we are pretty good at listening to residents, and we have listened to residents in the past that they have brought us some situations to us. They have been in the past, all the residents, so I don't think it's fair to say that the Latinos are not heard. It's just that we need to come out and say the needs that we have and the things that happen. Because we listen to everybody. Livingston Avenue is a county road. The county is the one, and the city have been meeting. I met with two freeholders in terms of Livingston Avenue going up by Foodtown, which is another area.
No, this is not by Foodtown.
I understand. I'm just telling you what has been done so you understand. I met with two freeholders before, and we were working on some situations. That road is part of a study that it will be. That road will be made into 2 lanes, and the county is working on it right now. So now, as to what some initiatives to make sure that something is done properly to avoid any more situations like we just had. Not only about the kids, but there's others that have been happening. So within, Mr. Patterson was explaining, probably within a month or so, we should expect some changes, at least something, a pilot program to start doing something. In terms of the speed bumps, like you said that you were looking that to have that done, there's a process to get to be able to do that, and that includes talking to your neighbors, signing a petition, bringing it to the county clerks, and then that's how the process starts in terms of the speed.
Vamos a suponer, yo creo que como ustedes no viven en Brunswick, ustedes no saben, ustedes llegan...
No, nosotros todos vivimos en Brunswick.
Ustedes es lo que dicen ustedes, es como la policía.
Pero déjame explicarle, antes de equivocarte que posible. Él vive en la ciudad, él vive, todos nosotros vivimos, yo vivo en la red, en medio de la comunidad, y todos nosotros vivimos en Brunswick. Por lo menos nosotros como coseras vivimos aquí en la calle y aquí también.
Es como dicen, o sea, que como dicen los policías, que este es un pueblo sucio, que es solamente hispano, pero si ellos no viven aquí, ¿cómo trabajan aquí?
He's basically saying that people consider New Brunswick a dirty place to live in, and if you guys aren't living here, how is it that you guys control everything in New Brunswick?
And I just told you that just to be clear, we all live in New Brunswick, not even Redwood Street. We all live in New Brunswick. All of us live here. And in order to be, excuse me, in order for us to be here, we have to live in New Brunswick. The mayor lives in New Brunswick. So I don't think so. At least if you're talking about us, we are here. We get up in the morning, we go to work. I work in New Brunswick, so I'm here 24/7. So I don't think it's fair to say that all of us don't live here because we do live here. And we see the challenges that we have. And I think that we have done, the city has done many good things. But like anything, there's challenges that continue. It's a growing thing that we need to continue growing. And I think that many community-based organizations, many agencies have been working in the city for the betterment of our community, including the Latino community. There's a lot of things that have been going on as a community that has been done. So I just want to make clear that you understand that it's not that we don't care because we live here and some of us work in areas that are doing things for the betterment and improvement of the community.
No, siempre los blancos, pues, que uno sigue, ellos quisieran que uno esté todo el tiempo abajo, arrastrándose, no subir, o sea, siempre ellos nos quieren ver como nada, ¿me entiendes?
Como esclavos.
No, esclavos, sí, ya no estamos para eso, ya nosotros podemos poner nivel. Aquí no hay nadie más grande ni más pequeño.
Todos somos iguales.
Exactamente.
Overall, he's just saying that how he feels feels that all the Hispanics are always held down, that they're looked at like we're always just basically held down, and that it's not like that anymore, that they're rising up, and it has to be equal, not like back then. Thank you.
Usted y todos los que están ahí tienen hijos. Si a ustedes les fuera pasado algo con sus hijos, si fuera sido yo que atropello un hijo de él, o un hijo de él, o un hijo suyo, un hijo de los aquí presentes, ¿a dónde estuviera yo ahorita?
Basically he's saying that if it was any of you guys as kids, and if it was one of us behind the wheel, that we would have been jailed or something already. And he said that he's a taxi driver and that he knows, that he sees everything that goes on in Brunswick as a taxi driver, and that day when he passed, like he said, the lines were painted, that he doesn't know why the driver didn't stop when he knew around 3:15, 3:30 the kids come out of school.
Tengo otra pregunta que hacer. Yo pienso que los policías solo están indignados de los taxistas. Va un taxista, le siguen como que es hormiga, que le caen hasta 5 patrullas a un taxista que se levanta. Yo me levanto desde las 4 de la mañana y son las 1, 2 de la mañana y todavía el taxista está taxiando porque le tengo que llevar comida a mis hijos. Tengo que pagar mi renta, tengo que pagar el agua, tengo que pagar luz. Es que en verdad, yo les voy a decir que no entiendo. No sé cuál es el trabajo que ellos hacen. No, en verdad que no entiendo.
Porque somos hispanos.
Busca uno.
Discrimina, no discrimina. Segregación que están haciendo con nosotros.
He's saying how when, as the taxi driver that he is, how he wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes he feels like the police, like 1 or 5 police cars, how he feels like they're just following him for hours or so, and then he said that how when there's a real emergency that they're nowhere to be found.
Ahora le doy gracias a Dios, ¿sabe por qué, doñita? Porque la legalicé. Tenía tanto sueño que algún día dije yo, jamás me van a volver a parar. Legalicé mi compañía y le doy gracias a aquel que está arriba. No le voy a dar gracias al hombre que está acá abajo, le doy gracias a aquel que está ahí arriba. Que por él yo tengo lo que yo tengo. Y no me importa estar perdiendo aquí, pero yo lo que quiero no son mis hijos, como lo repito. Si fuera sido mis hijos, no sé qué pasara, pero yo lo que quiero es justicia. Gracias y lo respeto.
You should be embarrassed to have this amount of people come out here and address you for something that the city should have took care of on their own. You should be embarrassed to have this many community residents come out here and flood City Hall and bring children out here on a school night just in hopes that they can get justice. You should be embarrassed. I want to know if there's a pattern. I want you guys to admit or answer this question. Is there a pattern of neglect from the administration dealing with the community residents in any issue, whether it be traffic, police, or do you feel like the city is doing everything in their power to make this city safe? Can you admit openly and honestly that you feel, each one of you sitting at this table, that the city is doing any and everything to make this city safe for the residents?
Mr. Pittman, I believe that despite this accident, we have, as a city, we have done our best to address some of the challenges that we have as any other city will have.
Okay. I don't want you to downplay the situation. Those 3 kids were knocked out of their shoes. They're still in the hospital. Did you see the dent in that Suburban? Did you see the type of dent that they left? And the city trying to downplay and act like it was a mild fender bender? Now my question to you is, when the police arrived, did they give him a drug test?
So you should go to the prosecutors and ask.
Are New Brunswick doing an internal? Are they doing their own independent investigation? Is New Brunswick? Wait, because you just told me that the city. Hold on. I understand that. That's county. We're talking about local. Now you have an opportunity to conduct your own investigation. And my question is, you're saying you're concerned about the residents, you're concerned about the children, you're doing everything in your power to make this a safe place. Did you give him a drug test when the accident happened?
No, Mr. JT, did you have an answer to So that no sé if there's a procedure that it goes when if somebody from the city involved in I cannot see it. Captain Miller.
Right in my shot. Right in my shot.
Sorry, I'm with the city.
And any appropriate tests that would be required are going to be done.
So is that the responsibility of the prosecutor's office to conduct?
Yes.
Okay, like I said, I think that at some point you have to start being more, because like they said, they're tired of being neglected. I speak on behalf of the community, but these are people that are not even involved with me. They feel the same way I feel on an everyday basis, and I think that I think that you guys need to start coming down here every first and third Wednesday. Every first and third Wednesday of the month at 6:30, start coming to the New Brunswick Council meetings and yell and scream as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. And in terms of the crossing guards, Captain Miller.
Yes,
Crossing guards are stationed there in that location at this point, or what is this?
Livingston and Delaware, the previous crossing guard resigned in April. We hired a crossing guard approximately 2 weeks later, but that crossing guard is still in training, which is anticipating graduating this Friday, and it'll be banned again on Monday.
Depending on the September of the opening of virtual school, I'm assuming that we will have more than one, or we will still want one crossing guard in that intersection. Once the virtual school opens,
There'll be one crossing guard in the intersection. We will consider more crossing guards around the school.
And the last point I want to make is that the council needs to step up. You do have power. You do have power to make changes. A direct quote from you is that you don't have any control over how much the crossing guards make. That's not true. You have the fiduciary responsibility to determine how much the employees of the city make, including the crossing guards. And in fact, the crossing guard item in the budget has been zeroed out for next year, and I've asked about that, and I want an explanation for why there's been a major change to the crossing guard budget. What does that indicate?
The budget assumes 38 school crossing guard positions, and it's zeroed out because there's a resolution on the agenda wherein the Board of Education is going to reimburse us for that expense this year.
En toda la Remsen no hay nadie, en toda la Remsen.
The placement of school crossing guards is a function of the police department. They manage the guards, they determine where they think the best and most effective crossing locations are. I hope JT is listening, and what's the location that he believes has not been looked at seriously?
Remsen Avenue and Delaware.
And then one thing where you say you judge where a crossing guard goes, or when an officer is to cover where a crossing guard, police department, that they're to cover, but how can you judge which street is more dangerous than the other? How do you judge which street is more dangerous?
Captain Miller, how do you determine the positions of the crossing guards?
The amount of traffic that the street has on it, the number of cars going by, the amount of kids that cross for the different schools. It's a judgment call.
So you don't actually keep records of how many accidents on the road, how many times in the area? Because like I said, on the 16th, where I was told where you were only able to have 7 officers on the line of traffic to cover for the crossing guard, and you told me that wasn't true. That wasn't true.
Captain Miller responded to that. It depends.
There's no rule that says we only have 7 officers. I mean, we only have so many officers working on a shift, and we can only put so many officers. That changes every day depending on who's available and who's not, what calls are happening. There's no set number on who can go where.
Besides, I guess it's, when exams, and it depends on the availability of the officers. But again, and in terms of the accident, I'm pretty sure that they look at all of that when they do, and hopefully moving forward, we'll continue to do it.
Well,
everybody who needs a job as a security guard, just a few hours at their home, retired, that would
Like I said, I know Mr. Ross for over 20 years. He's a wonderful person. He works with kids, and like I said, I see it's more your fault and the police department due to where you did not have anyone out there to cross those kids. And believe me, next time I present to you with evidence for the safety of our children, I hope you respond sooner before the damage is done.
Joyce Kilmer Avenue is a city street, so that one we had done, there is speed humps on Joyce Kilmer Avenue, there are pedestrian crossing, they're lighted. So there's a few things that have been done already at that street. In terms of Livingston Avenue, it's a county road. So we have to work with the county to address the issues and the challenges that we have. They have been working on this for 4 or 5 years already, doing a study, because we want to make sure that it's done correctly. And I know it's taking long, and I tell the people it takes long, absolutely. We want to have this solved by tomorrow, absolutely. But we have to take the steps that we do something that is going to be something that is sustainable, that is going to be there, not that we have to look back and say, okay, we didn't do it right. So we're trying to get it right from the get-go. In that sense, we do understand that we have been talking to the county to see what can we do. We know that it's going to take time, but immediately, for 3 or 4 months, we have been talking to the county about this. And we are in the works of doing some programs that benefits the community in terms of education, pedestrian safety, because sometimes we as pedestrians don't cross the street the right way, and campaigns that have been done with the police department to alert these drivers. The community is absolutely right. People drive very fast on a 25 miles per hour limit. Right. There's no doubt. And I think that today, having the community out here, I think it was great. All of us welcome that. They offer some solutions and some insights that maybe we're not looking at, that we could look at. So I really think that it was, at the end of it, it was very positive of having everybody here.
And we have heard that Robert Rawls was involved in another pedestrian accident 10 years ago and hit pedestrians in the street, so it seems he might have a pattern here. Have you heard anything about this?
I don't have any knowledge about that, and it was mentioned again, it was asked today, and I don't have any knowledge on that.
Is that something, do you think, that needs to be looked into?
There was specifically, there was one that they were talking about an accident, so I will look into it. But with the lawyers, the city lawyer, if he doesn't have a date he had, but a name or who was the defendant, the plaintiff, all of that, we cannot look. But it definitely will look into it because I really have no knowledge. Okay?
Thank you.
This is a tragedy that should not have occurred, nor should it be repeated. As such, I met yesterday with New Brunswick Mayor Jim Cahill, the City of New Brunswick Director of Planning Glenn Patterson, the head of our Infrastructure Management Department, Ralph Alvenier, and County Engineer Rich Wallner to develop plans to address the issue. We left the meeting with a clear vision and consensus on what the county can do immediately to make the roads safer. As a team, we recognize the need for change and will work collectively to improve safety. In fact, the city commissioned a study through Rutgers University to develop improvement plans. That study was presented to the county, which now is in the process of an engineering review to determine the best way to proceed with the study's findings. The first area stretches from Delavan to Baldwin Streets, the area where the children were struck on Tuesday. The second area stretches from Elizabeth Street near the food town to Loretta Street. This area was the site of another critical accident. Starting early next week, curbside parking along Livingston Avenue in these two sections will be prohibited. At the same time, crews will remove the current striping on the 4-lane road. The road will have only one traveling lane in each direction. A center turning lane will be installed. Appropriate striping will be painted. Signs detailing the new traffic pattern and parking restrictions will be installed. This means pedestrians in those areas will not have to cross 4 lanes of moving traffic or worry about cars jutting out from parking spaces.